Have you ever wanted to create a visually pleasing Instagram feed but didn't know where to start? Well, look no further, because in this video, we're going to show you how to brand your Instagram and then create an entire feed. Let's get started. Usually, feeds with one scheme tend to look a little bit bland because everything starts to blend together. Creating a fun feed is super easy. All you have to do is follow 3 guidelines. First is choosing the color scheme. You can find color palettes on websites like Color Hunt or Pinterest. I think it's important to have the color palette chosen so that you have a guideline, but don't let it restrict you with your color choices. Second, choose a main font for any text you'd like to add to your post. I chose a font called Oswald. This will be my primary font. However, if you'd like to use 2 fonts, one as a heading font and one as a subheading font, go ahead, but today we're only using one. The third step is to have a general cohesiveness to your design approach. For example, if you have graphics or shapes and you have the option of using a black border or no border, whichever you decide to go with should be consistent with every post. Now that we have those guidelines out of the way, let's start designing. For the sake of this video, we're going to create a mock account for skincare content. To create our designs, we're going to be using this website called PixStudio, and I like to use it for 3 reasons. 1, it's beginner friendly. 2, you get a lot of free templates to base your design on and create easy designs. 3, it's all online, so it doesn't take up any space on your computer and you can design anytime, anywhere. Let's start designing by clicking on Create a Design and then choosing Instagram Post. We're going to start off by changing the background color. To do that, just click on your background and then head over to the Adjust bar and click the Color tab underneath it. Let's bring in the first color from our palette and copy the color number. Then head to the New Color tab and paste the color number just like this. Now, let's add our element. Head over to the Elements tab and go to Shapes and click See All. Scroll down to find the tab Element. Click on it to add it to your page. Now let's scale it up. Then align it to the center by going up to the Align tab and click the Center Align button, then the Middle Align button. This will center your work to the page. Let's change the colors of this element. Make sure your element is selected and make sure your first color is selected. Let's change the border color to white. To change the other color of this element, go back up to the element's color and select the next box and change the color this way. I'm going to choose the same color as the background. Now, add the text. To do that, head over to the Text tab and then click Add a Heading. This is going to be a community question post, so I'm going to type out a skincare question. Keep your text selected and then align the text to the right by clicking this button. Next, change the font to our primary font, which is Oswald. And change the font color to white. Now let's scale our text up and align it to the bottom right corner of our element. And that's our first post done. To start creating our next post, scroll to the bottom of the page and click on Add a New Page. For this one, I'm going to create a carousel information post, but we're only going to create the cover for today. Let's start by changing the background color to a new color. I'm going to bring in my next color, which is this mustard yellow. Copy the color number into the New Color tab. Next, let's go into the Elements tab under Shapes and find the circle shape and add it to this page. Scale it up until it fills most of the frame. Now align it to the center and then the middle. Let's change the color. I'm going to bring in the third color, which is this charcoal gray. Next, go into the Text tab and add a heading. I'm going to type out Aloe Vera. Now let's change the font to Oswald and change the color to white. And let's scale this text up. I want to change the line spacing for this text. To do that, I will go to the line spacing tab and move it all the way down. This will move our text closer together like this. I'll scale it up one more time to fill more of the frame. Let's add one more piece of text by adding another heading. I'm going to change the text to Benefits. Then I'm going to change the font to Oswald and center it to the middle of the page. I could make this font white, but since it's inside the gray circle, I can choose the same color as the background and have it still be legible. This post is meant to be an information post with multiple slides, so let's add a graphic to let people know to scroll. I'm going to go into Elements, Lines, and find an arrow graphic. To make this arrow point to the right, I'm going to click on the Flip Horizontal button over here. This will mirror our element horizontally. To change the color of the arrow, have it selected and go into both element colors and change both of them to white. I want to add a circular border around the arrow, so I'm going to go to the Shapes tab and I'm going to pick this element. Scale it down and move it around the arrow. I'm also going to change the color to white so it's all one color. And there you have it, our second post is done. On to our third. Let's add a new page. For this one, I'm going to show you how you can add photos to your feed and still have it be consistent aesthetically. First, change the background color to white. Now, head over to the Upload tab and bring in your photo of choice. I have this photo of moisturizer that I got from unsplash.com. I'm going to scale it up and leave a little bit of room for a border around the image. I'm going to align the photo to the page. Now, our background is going to act like a border. Use any of the palette colors around photos you want to add to your feed to make it look more cohesive. And that's it for our third post. On to our next post. Let's add a new page. For this one, let's use a PixStudio template. To do that, head over to the Templates tab. As you can see, we have many options to choose from, but I'm going to choose the reminder post. Now let's start customizing it. I'm going to start off by deleting the flower element and also the background photo. Change the background color to a charcoal gray we used earlier. Then head over to the Elements tab and go under the Decorations section. I'm going to use this grid element. I'm also going to zoom out and scale my element this way, because I want the grid squares to be pretty big. Now click on the element and change the color to this lighter yellow from our palette. As you can see, the element is hiding our reminder. To fix that, let's right-click on the grid element, then click Send to Back. If you look closely, you'll also notice that the grid is showing up behind our reminder. To fix that, all you have to do is select the white box element and go over to the Transparency tab and bring it all the way up to 100. And now you can't see through it. Let's edit our text. I'm going to type out a skincare reminder. Now change the font to your primary font. You can keep the color of the font if you want, but I'm going to change it to this mustard yellow. And that's our reminder post, all done. Our next post will be an information carousel post, but with photos. Let's change our background color. I'm going to go with this pink color. Copy the color information into the New Color tab. And head over to the Uploads tab and upload your image. Once it's uploaded, click on it and add it to the page. Now scale it up and have it fill most of the frame. This time, we're going to add text. I'm going to type out DIY lip scrub. Now align the paragraph to the left by clicking on this button. And change the font to Oswald, which is our primary font. And let's scale it up. There's too much space between the words, so let's bring down the line spacing to 1. This will bring our words closer together. Now change the color to white. And align it to the bottom left corner of the image. Let's add our scroll graphic again. Instead of looking for graphics every single time, PixStudio has a super easy way to find your used elements. Head over to the Elements tab and then the Recently Used tab to find previously used elements. Add the arrow and change the color and flip it horizontally again and place it on the top right corner. Add the border and edit it to match the previous border we added to the aloe vera post. I like it like this, so that's it for this one. For our next post, let's make a text-only design. First, let's change our background color to the cement color that we used earlier. Since that post is 4 posts down, they're well spaced out and we can repeat the color again without it blending together. Now, let's add our text and type out moisturize. I'm going to change the font to Oswald and change the color to white. Scale up the font by dragging this text box. Next, move it to the center and align it to the middle. Now copy this text and paste it once. And move the new text above it. Let's select both of these texts and copy and paste them once more. And move them slightly lower. Now right-click and paste one more time and move it slightly higher. Then select all of these texts by clicking and holding down the Shift button. Once all of them are selected, right-click and then click on Group. If we were to align this group to the middle, they're all going to align together. And that's how you create a text post. For our next post, I'm going to show you how to find photos for your designs. First, I'm going to change the background color to this teal color. Let's paste the color info into the New Color tab. Now head over to the Photos tab and click on Unsplash. Unsplash is a website with over 2 million freely usable photos that we can easily access here on PixStudio. I'm going to search for a photo of coffee beans for a recipe post. I like this photo. All I have to do is click on the photo I like and it'll show up on my feed ready to use. Now let's scale it up and align it to the right side of the page. Now add the text to describe what kind of post this is. Let's apply the Oswald font. And let's change the color to white. And let's scale it up. Last thing to add here is the scroll graphic that we can access under the Recently Used tab. Again, change the color to white, flip it to face the right side, and move it under the text. Let's add our border to keep our design consistent. We can keep these two elements white, but we can also try out different colors from our palette. Now let's try the gray color. Ooh, I like it. Let's change the arrow too. If there's an element blocking another element, just move the one on top and edit the bottom element and then move everything back. And that's it for our recipe post. Now for our second to last post, I'm going to show you how to add frames to your images. Let's change the background color to this light yellow and head over to Elements, Image Frame, and find the circle frame. Click on Add an Image and upload your image into the frame. Let's add our text and type out serum. Change the text color to white and scale it up. Then let's align our text to the page and move our text to the bottom of the frame. Now add a subheading text. Let's type benefits. Make the text bold by clicking this button. And change the font color to white. Then scale it up and move it under the serum text. This is a great opportunity to try a different color. So let's choose this charcoal gray color. I like both, but I'm going to stick to the gray for now. And don't forget to be consistent with your designs by adding the scroll graphic. And that's it. On to our last post. Let's add another page. Since our last community question post was 8 posts ago, we can now start to reuse some post formats. So let's do another question tab. First, change the background color to white. Now, we can go to the recently used tab and add the tab element to the page this way. However, if we were to just add a new one every single time, the size might not be consistent, which will show on the feed. To fix that, let's scroll all the way up to the first question post and select the tab element and copy it and paste it to our current page. Now, the tab element size will remain consistent with every new post. Let's change the border color to this pink color, and let's change the inside color to the same color as the background, which is this white color. Now add your text and apply all the same text properties that we did for all of our text. And that's all. Here we have our entire feed done, so time to export. I'm going to go to the top right corner and rename my project to Skincare Feed, and then click Download. I want all the photos to be high quality, so I'm going to choose the high button. For the size, the current size is at 1080 by 1080, which is great for Instagram, but you can always size up or down if you want. But I'm just going to leave it like this. Click Download. Now PixStudio is saving our work and creating a zip file with each post as a JPEG file. And there you have it, a super easy approach to designing an entire Instagram feed. Are there any designs you'd like us to help you with? Let us know in the comments below. Until next time, stay creative.